Hey everybody, my name is Hugh Rhodes. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Friday. This talk is about owning your data, which I think many people have felt they should. The question is, why hasn't it happened until now? And the answer is because it is in fact only possible on Solana. Great. So I've been in personal data my whole life, almost my whole life. I launched the first data breach product at Experian. I did BD, therein at LifeLock. I've got a patent. But before all of that, I was a filmmaker. I wrote and directed a feature film, St. John of Las Vegas. This is me on set. And what I learned from making a movie is it doesn't matter what you say, it matters how people feel. All that matters is how people feel. This challenge in front of us, getting people to own their data, crypto in general, you can't educate them, you can't lecture them, you've got to make them feel great. And I hope you'll see that that's what we've tried to do here. All right, for Americans, the most abrupt encounter with GDPR has been here accepting all the cookies. I think that's what people associate with GDPR, but actually it does something very different. For all the agreements you signed with Facebook and with Google, all the times you gave someone else ownership of your data, GDPR negates that. It says you have the right to it, and it doesn't matter what you signed. It nullifies those contracts. It's quite powerful. But that's not the regulation that I want to talk about. In the middle of our Civil War in the United States, they passed the Homestead Act in 1862, an arbitrary law that gave people ownership of the land under their feet. All you had to do was move there, live there, and farm a little, and you got to own the land. Fantastic. Even better, you owned what was under the land, and that is the oil. This is a slide from my favorite movie, There Will Be Blood. It's famous for the line, I'll drink your milkshake. But in reality, what is the main character doing? He's going around from town to town trying to convince people to give him the right to extract the oil that they own. And why does he need to do that? Because oil's very difficult to get out. It needs refinement to be valuable. And people can't do anything with it on their own. So when they say data's the new oil, they're not kidding. They have a lot in common. Your data's hard to get out from these silos. Facebook and Google, they don't make it easy. It's pretty much worthless in its raw form. You do need to know what you're doing to extract it, but there is one difference. As of today, the difference between a barrel of crude and a barrel of gasoline at the station is around 1.6. Data, on the other hand, has a 62x multiple. The credit bureaus will sell your file to a bank for 29 cents. 29 cents. Credit Karma takes that same data, and turns it into an offer, and they do $18 ARPU. The value of your data when it's turned into something, when it's turned into an offer, a product, something for you, has a 62x multiple. The other reason that this hasn't worked so far is because people keep on trying to get paid for their data. The raw asset is useless. It's only when it's turned into offers, discovery, promotions, things that you want, that's when you get the real value of the data. Okay, this is Alistair McTaggart. He's a real estate developer in Oakland. And he got pissed off that Google had his data and personally financed the referendum in California that led to the California Consumer Privacy Act. And the reason that's important is because between GDPR in Europe and this privacy law in California, where many of the data hoarding companies operate, this became de facto law of the land. Every large tech company will honor your privacy rights now. So, what are your rights? Great. You do have the right to data portability. You have the right to take everything they know about you, not just what you gave them, what they added, and take it with you and go do something else with it unencumbered. You can do whatever you want with it. Even if you don't want to take it, you have the right to know what they know about you. You have the right to make them stop selling your data. That's a bit of a false flag. Most of them know how to get around that, but still you have that right. And then you have the right to be forgotten. This weirdly ends up being the most important one often. People don't talk that much about it, but you do have the right to be forgotten. What that means is that if you've done business with an entity, or if anybody has your personal data, you have the right to make them erase it like you were never there. Not cancel, not change, erase. Okay, I'm going to argue that you actually want this right. And this is why. This company, Kochava, I don't even know who they are, but I do know that they've been selling all of our location data about where we go to church, about places where we gather, about what medical care we seek. This is terrifying. Hundreds of millions of people. I'm glad I have the right to be forgotten. I'm glad I can tell Kochava to forget me. But the question is, how are they tracking that? And how would I tell them? I don't know who they are. I never registered with them. What are they using? Okay, they're using something called PII, personally identifiable data. Personally identifiable data is any data piece that you uniquely own. It doesn't have to be one-to-one. It's any data set or any data piece which is uniquely yours. So obviously, John Smith at Happy Lane, there's only one John Smith legally. The son might be junior, but there's only one John Smith that lives there. That's considered PII. The name would not be. Your name is not PII. Other people can have your name. The second one, that's the mobile ad ID. That is what Kochava was using. All of your phones have a mobile ad ID. For some creepy reason, you can't see it, you can't get it. You can't browse to it. You need an app to pull it out. So if you need an app to pull it out, how did Kochava sell it? Foursquare, local coupons, all the times you've given anybody the right to sort of know where you are so they could give you something. They pulled the mobile ad ID and then they sold it. You have the right to have that to be forgotten. Now, you can have more than one phone. So you can have more than one mobile ad ID and you still have the right to be forgotten, which leads me to point number C, which is a wallet. So the question is, if this wallet is uniquely yours, even if you don't put a name to it, even if you don't dox yourself, do you own it? Yes, you do. Is it therefore your PII? Likely yes. So do you have the right to be forgotten when you sign something with a wallet? Well, we haven't gotten to mass adoption yet. I know everybody talks about it. They can't wait to get to mass adoption. I think this is waiting for you because there's not a whole lot of difference between B and C. And I can tell you, because I've done it, I can take string number B, I can mail Kochava just that string, nothing else about me. Not my name, not my address, nothing. I can mail them that string, and I say, I own that string, you must delete it. And they'll do it. Okay. So I said that this is waiting for us, and I put a question mark there, but I think you can see it's actually coming already. This is a company called Receipts. It's on Ethereum. And what they do is they pull your Strava account information in, and they make a leaderboard for you for marathons, and it's immutable, so that everybody knows who has the fastest marathon. This sounds wonderful. Strava, like every other tech company, honors the right to be forgotten. I've pulled it for you right there so you can see. I've also pointed to the wallet addresses signing this public ledger. Now, when I said it doesn't matter what you say, it matters what you feel, I'll tell you. At this point, when I start talking about this, a lot of Web3 people start to get a little mad because I'm pointing out something that may create a conflict. They have the right to be forgotten. And I would say, even if those individual people don't want to be forgotten, military people love exercise, they love Strava. The question is, what if the military orders you to be forgotten? What are you going to, like, a lot of times when you talk about these conflicts, people will say, like, oh, it's Web3, it's immutable. Come at me, bro. Like, I don't think you want that. This is a real dilemma. This is a real dilemma for Web3. But what do you do if you're a Star Trek fan when you come across a real dilemma? Kobayashi Maru. I'm old enough to remember the original. The Kobayashi Maru is when Kirk was put in an impossible situation He hacked the system to change it. And that is what is possible on Solana. This is how we approach this. First, your data is stored on device, off-chain, encrypted and secured, it's yours. But you represent it to Web3 with a compressed, non-transferable NFT. Both those, compressed and non-transferable, only possible in Solana. That way you own it, it's yours, and you can express yourself to the world, to the Web3 world, without transferring ownership. Every time the data is accessed, we mint the compressed NFT, you get an immutable log, not of the actual data, of the access. So you have full control. Even we can't access your data without leaving a trace and without your permission. And coming soon, the right to be forgotten. We'll use single-use key pairs. One wallet, multiple children. When you sign, you're signing with a child wallet. You can't trace back to you, but you get full audit of everywhere your data's went. And if you do Strava and you need to be forgotten, you just burn the key pair and you've ghosted that signature. Okay, now, I said all that matters is how you feel, not what you say, and I've done a lot of talking, so I want to show you how hopefully this makes you feel. Great, this is our app. We have language up front telling everybody why they should get their data, what they're going to get back. For the Web3 crowd, I want you to pay attention. This is a Web3 app, and you need a wallet. That facial recognition is the wallet. Done. First, we're going to get Spotify. This actually is real time. I didn't have to speed this up. This is their API. It's really this fast. You log in, pull your data down. With Netflix, we have to go through the web, so it's actually not that fast. I sped it up a little bit. You pick your profile, you download your data, and you're done. Great. Down at the bottom, Breakpoint 2023. If you log into Spotify and Netflix, you can get a Breakpoint 2023 NFT from Friday. Now, we're building DPIN, which is a two-sided market for data. You gotta jumpstart a market. You gotta make it worthwhile for people to pull their data and do something with it right away. Right away. So, we tuned OpenAI and made a personal concierge for you, based on your data, your taste. Solana's headquarters is on the Lower East Side of New York City. What's a great place for happy hour on the Lower East Side? Now, this is for me. Yours may not be the same, but for me, it says Romper Room. Great. Now, back to those. They're all NFTs. They're all compressed NFTs. I'll go to Spotify. We've summarized your information for you. Songs that you might like that you haven't heard. Artists. Again, we're using this personal concierge to curate all this information for you. Look at the bottom where it says, see this on Solana Explorer? Great. This is a compressed NFT. We're on DevNet. When we come out of data, we'll move to mainnet. But this works. Now, for Breakpoint, we've also given you a curated guide to Amsterdam, places that you personally will like, coffee shops that you'll find interesting, places that tourists don't go. Also compressed NFT. Great. Listen, thank you so much. I hope you see that what we've done is taken a very complicated topic and really tried to make it something that feels great. And I have a couple asks before you kick me off. First, please download this app. You are the first people who have ever seen this. You are the first people who can download it outside of our small team at Friday. Secondly, help us improve and make it better. Yes, bug reports, but also suggestions and what you would see. You can hit me here or join our Discord. Third, share it. And share it with people who aren't in crypto. I guarantee this will be the easiest thing anybody ever did, and for many people, the first wallet they ever have. Your family, your friends, the people who think you're crazy for being here, share this with them. And last, thank you for your time so much.